Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Maharani I'm from Makassar Tourism Polytechnic and I am your tour guide. Now, I will explain 4 points. The first point, the history of the traditional house of Balla Lompoa. The second point is the functions of the Balla Lompoa room. 3 points of building of Balla Lompoa. The last point of the collection of the Balla Lompoa Museum. Balla Lompoa is the former royal place of Goa, which characteristic is such as the shape of the traditional state house of the Bugis Makassar community. The Balla Lompoa is place was built in 1938, right of the Goa King of Imang-Imangi Dain Matutu, Sultan Tahir Muhyiddin. Tumananga is sungguh minasa. This building was built as a form of resistance to imperialism and the political system prevailing at the time where the Kingdom of Goa, after being conquered through the Bongaya Agreement. A place building might not be built without permission for the VOC government or the governments based in Batavia at the time. Then Sultan Tahir Muhyiddin was known as a true patriot and statesman and also had a strong religious knowledge. This building bears witness to the history how the diplomatic struggle between local kingdoms negotiated with companies based in Makassar and in Batavia. Next, the pattern of the Balla Lompoa room. The functions of the room of the Balla Lompoa traditional house consists of the 3 parts, namely the upper part called the attic or pamakang, which functions as a killing the middle part in the body of the house called Balla, which functions as a living room and bedroom, and the lower part under the house in Celtic Basinan. Surface which the 3 parts symbolize the philosophy of magic apa. Next, Balla Lompoa building parts. Upper parts are Ulu Balla, Attic, Pamakang. The room house roof of the house or Ulu Balla. The frame is paristic and wear a rigid cap calicone katilayang. The regal has 5 floors, which indicate that the occupants of the house are kings or high nobles. It is different from the connection or ordinary people's houses or to Maradika, which only consists of 1 or 2 levels. Hambadi or Kalebala. The main house or the body of the Balla Lompoa house measuring 19 x 40 meter consists of the 3 parts, namely the front part is colored pada serang riol. The middle part is colored pada serang ritanga, and at the back is colored pada serang Riboko. In general, the rooms are rectangular in shape, bounded by walls. Each wall has several pillars, the bottom of the house or pasiran. At the bottom of Balla Lompoa's house, you can see the sturdy pillars supporting the body of the house. The pillars of the traditional house are 78 pitches, made of the thick wood which is quite strong, so this poly had never been replaced since the house was built. The pillars are rectangular in shape, supported by a rectangular concrete foundation. In frame to support the floor of the house, there are beams arranged transversely and longitudinally, then scored of the support posts and strengthen the peg made of iron. Next, sire or arches the scape of the Balla Lompoa staircase consists of 30 steps, which are colored arches of the Baringan Pulungan Talu, which main the main staircase with 13 tiers on the left and right side of the stair. There is a hand-carved colored the Cokorogang Tukak Pombari. The stair of a roof or Patongko Tukak and the main staircase connect the lower part to the main house, which is made of thick wood which is quite strong and has not been replaced until now. Next, Balla Lompoa Museum Collection. The Balla Lompoa Museum Collection contain 145 collection of high value royal objects such as crowns and bracelets, keys, and other objects which are generally made of pure gold and decorated with diamond and other gemstones. Other collections are polytelheratan spear or panjang barangan style, and then scrap metal majet or lasipo, and the powerful weapon of the king who is still in power or sudanga. And next, gold dragon head bracelet or ponto jangjangnya. And the next, oversized necklace or kolara. And then earrings made of pure gold or bangkara taroe. And gold buttons or gaukang buttons. Consolation. So the traditional architecture of Balla Lompoa reflects the traditional house architecture of the Makassar tribe was from four and fountains of the room are adapted to the aesthetic values of the Makassar people, and Balla Lompoa is prospered and designed in accordance with general customary rules that have been passed down from generation to generation in the Goa kingdoms as a condition that must be met for a Makassar traditional house, and especially for the residence of the king. about the Makassar Bugis traditional house or Balla Lompoa.